Hello, it's Dr. Kevin Sansberry. In today's conversation, we're going to talk about how feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem can shape our behavior, especially at work. We're also going to share some ways to handle it from both a leader's perspective and an employee's point of view. This is such an important topic that can really make a difference in our professional lives. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. All right, so let's get started by looking into where feelings of inadequacy can come from and how they can influence our behavior in the workplace. Feelings of inadequacy can stem from different experiences, and it's important to recognize that everyone's journey is unique. So let's chat about some common factors that might contribute to these feelings, and keep in mind that this list isn't exhaustive. First, we have our childhood experiences. Sometimes if we didn't get enough attention from our parents or caregivers growing up, we might carry these feelings of not being good enough into our adulthood, and that inner voice keeps telling us we don't measure up, even when we do. Another factor could be previous workplace harassment or bullying. So if somebody was treated poorly by their colleagues or supervisors, that could really take a toll on somebody's self-esteem. They might start internalizing those negative experiences, and that might lead them to feel inadequate and question their own abilities. And let's not forget about mental health issues like depression, anxiety. These conditions can make us see ourselves in a negative light, even when there's no objective reason to feel that way. So in these situations, our brains may be playing tricks on us, making us believe that we're not as capable or deserving as we truly are. Social comparison can also play a big role in these feelings of inadequacy. With social media platforms showcasing everyone's highlight reels, it's easy to fall into that trap of comparing ourselves to other people. We might see somebody's promotion, fancy vacation, and feel like we're falling behind and not achieving enough, even if that's not the whole truth. Lastly, we have imposter syndrome, which is quite common, especially among high achievers. People experiencing imposter syndrome often feel like they're faking their way through life, and it's only a matter of time before this fraud is exposed. This can be really tough to deal with and can contribute to feelings of inadequacy. So as you can see, there are many factors that might lead to these feelings, and it's essential to remember that everybody's experience is different. But understanding the roots of these feelings can be the first step into overcoming them and building a healthier self-image. So now that we know where these feelings come from, let's talk about how they can impact the work environment and leadership, and how both leaders and employees can work together to overcome them. You know, when we feel inadequate, it can lead to all sorts of issues like making bad decisions, avoiding challenges, struggling to work with others, and even creating a toxic work environment. Both leaders and employees have a big part to play in tackling these feelings and building this supportive environment. And so let me share a story to help explain how these feelings can really affect work environments and leadership. So picture Sarah, a team leader at a marketing agency. She always felt like she wasn't good enough, partly because of her tough upbringing and previous boss who just couldn't stop criticizing her. This made her doubt herself, and she avoided taking on challenging projects. As a leader, Sarah's feelings of inadequacy caused her to micromanage her team as a way to compensate. She found it hard to delegate tasks, thinking she had to control everything to prevent any mistakes. You can imagine how that created a tense work environment where her team felt smothered and unsupported. Plus, Sarah was scared to collaborate with other departments because she thought they'd see right through her. This lack of collaboration ultimately held the company back. So one day, when a project went wrong, Sarah pointed fingers at her team instead of stepping up to find a solution. And that's when trust and morale really took a hit. It was also a wake-up call for Sarah, and she realized how her feelings of inadequacy was hurting her team, her leadership, and the overall work environment. So Sarah decided to get help from a therapist and a coach. She started to face her feelings of inadequacy face on. She started opening up to her team about her struggles and encouraging them to share their honest feedback. Slowly but surely, the work environment actually changed for the better, and it became more supportive, more collaborative, which allowed Sarah and her team to really flourish. Sarah's story is a perfect example how these feelings of inadequacy can have a huge impact on the work environment and leadership. It's so important for both leaders and employees to work together to address these feelings, build open communication, and create a positive, supportive space for everybody. Here's some helpful tips for both leaders and employees with feelings of inadequacy. I'm gonna start with leaders. So leaders, be kind to yourself. Recognize your strengths and remember that nobody's perfect. You want to get professional help. A therapist or a coach can help you dig into issues beyond your feelings and let you learn new ways to deal with them. 3, create a supportive work culture. And the word create means you have to foster, you actually have to do something, right? And so what that means is encouraging open communication, teamwork, celebrating each other's successes. You want to set realistic goals. You want to avoid aiming too high for yourself and your team. And you want to also take time to celebrate progress as well. Finally, leaders, you want to lead by example. What that means is be open about your struggles and show your team healthy ways to cope. Now, let's say you're an employee and you're working with somebody who has the feelings of inadequacy as we described in the video today. Let me share what you can do. Focus on what you're good at. You want to remember your talents and accomplishments and continue to look for chances to grow. Speak up about your worries. So you need to talk to your leader, talk to HR, any support system in your work environment about the problems you're facing. Now, the third one might sound a little hard, but you want to be there for your leader. Remember, these feelings of inadequacy, they might not even know that they're going through it, and so it's best to try to be understanding and supportive. 4, in certain situations, you may need to set really hard boundaries, and that means know when to say no and take care of your mental health proactively. Lastly, lean on your coworkers. And what that means is really just connecting with people who can offer advice and understanding when you're going through these rough patches, because y'all are in the environment together. So to wrap things up, feelings of inadequacy can affect both leaders and employees in the workplace. It affects us all. And by understanding where these feelings come from, you can use the coping strategies outlined in the video, because everybody needs to work together to create the supportive and productive work environment that you want. Thanks for joining us today. And if you found this conversation helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. Until next time, I'm Dr. Kevin Sansberry, signing out.